all the way back from the Sedgefield Cheltenham preview event. I won't be doing it again. It's nothing to do with the event. It was perfectly okay. A bit noisy at the start because me and a woman actually were obviously on her own. We were shoved out near the kitchen to make a bit of noise before the event. I thought, oh Lord, this is going to be a nightmare because I don't want to hear anything. I closed the kitchen door and it's great. That wasn't the problem. But bloody we've buses. 3 years ago, I was fine getting a bus back from Sedgefield, where this was, to Durham train station. I'm in a train from Durham to Newcastle, where I live. And the Weaver very kindly left a completely out-of-date bus timetable up for this year, and it's wrong. Completely out of date. And the last bus back from Sedgefield to Durham had basically gone about 3 hours before the end of the meeting. And only after I got to the bus station, I was actually furious. Had to get a taxi from Sedgefield to Durham, and literally from about 8 taxi firms up, and then I couldn't get one for £35 for a 10-mile journey. Absolutely furious with Weaver. And I won't be coming back here, but to the Sedgefield event, because I just can't get back. I don't pay 35 quid for a taxi. I can not do that again. So I was talk about the event later on in this video. It's actually quite a nice event to do now. Anyway, I'll put up my notes of that in a minute. The panel at Sedgefield was chaired by Derek Thompson, of course well known as Tomo. I know he divides opinion, and people might say, but certain people think he divides opinion between those who hate him and those who hate him even more. I don't mind Tomo too much myself. He can be a bit much sometimes, but I think he's a decent enough guy. Trainers were Mickey Hammond and Phil Kirby. Jockey Sean Quinlan and also jockey Adam Nicol, placing Danny Cook, who Derek Thompson said was ill, and Nicol just where Danny Cook just couldn't be asked. Firstly, we looked at the Spume Officer's hurdle. There's a Ladbrokes guy there who sounded like Tomo said he was something like Tony Bailey. I don't know his name. I looked it up actually. And anything like Twitter, it's just thanked everybody and then Ladbrokes, and no one's actually ever named to him. He did a decent job of giving me orders and gave some selections, which I'll pass on. Mickey Hammond said that Inver Allen would take world of beating if he runs, and of course he's a non-runner. Would have been his snap of the meeting, and he likes Davy Russell as a jockey. Says Shifskin lacks hardiness, and his two Abracadabras and a Spiriflage if Inver Allen wasn't a runner. Sean Quinn agreed with Mickey Hammond on Inver Allen. Said that Shifskin had been impressive at Newby but had not beaten a lot. And Spiriflage he felt was very impressive at Leopardstown. But he's going for Abracadabras if Inver Allen was a non-runner. Phil Kirby felt Allen would not run. Wasn't keen on Shifskin, who he felt was more flat track horse. His choice of Spiriflage with a possibility of Chantry House each way. Derek Thompson says he likes Inver Allen, but would go for Edwardstone if that horse didn't run. Adam Nicol saying Inver Allen, and also Fiddler on the Roof if it's soft. And the Ladbrokes guy said Edwardstone each way. The Arkle, Mickey Hammond thought Notebook was a bit of a short price horse, but he would actually be his selection for the race. He felt he was the best of the Irish horses there. He'd also mentioned Brewing Up a Storm, and another selection he has is Global Citizen each way. Sean Quinlan felt Notebook had been impressive, but had bolted to the start last time out, and the occasion could actually get to him and he could go much too quick. Derek Thompson saying that perhaps people backing the Notebook should look at maybe waiting until he actually gets to a start, and Sean Quinlan agreed. Also mentioning Brewing Up a Storm as a selection, who come fourth in Ballymore last year, and Mr. Fisher as a possibility at a price. So Kirby mentioning Notebook could also mention a Notebook have the occasion getting to him, so he went to Rogue Reeve. Adam Nicol going for Brewing Up a Storm and Mr. Fisher each way. And Ladbrokes guy mentioning Brewing Up a Storm and the Stan Skelton mare for this one, Mary Banry. Champion Hurdle. Ladbrokes guy said he fancied down for start each way, but it was a wide open race. Mickey Hammond fancying his horse Cornerstone Lad, one fighting fifth and giving way to Way at Hayden and just losing. I remember at Henry Brook, I was at one of the first of the two Newcastle preview events I attended. That was his nap each way was Cornerstone Lad, and he'd be delighted to Mickey Hammond if Cornerstone Lad finished in the first four, and had a little run after racing at Catterick, and he had pleased him. Sean Quinlan felt Cornerstone Lad overpriced. Abertanti probably needed a flat track, Mentioned clears Emery, but his choice in an open race for each way was Petit Mouchoir. So Kirby saying that he thought that Epitante had been coughing, which was a worry. He was going for Honeysuckle if that horse actually ran in this race. Adam Nicol was going instead for Super Sunday. The mare's hurdle, Vicky Hammond felt Honeysuckle probably won here, but actually going for Stormy Island if Benedict didn't run. And that Lady Buttons has a great each-way chance if a horse runs. Now, Phil Kirby said that if both Benedict and Honeysuckle he said at this event, but Lady Buttons probably would avoid the mare's hurdle if Benedict and Honeysuckle are both declared. And both are there, as is Lady Buttons. So I don't know if she actually running. We'll see. Maybe we'll see if she runs on the day. Sean Quinlan selected Benedict, but also and Lady Buttons in any without Benedict market. Also looking at Roxana and Stormy Island. Derek Thompson likes Roxana. Adam Nicol felt Lady Buttons, if she had cheek pieces, would be a chance in the market without Benedict. Ballymore Hurdle. Ladbroke Sky was looking as poet at a price for that one. Vicky Hammond saying Everett Allen, his nap if he runs in this race. Sporting John if Amber Allen doesn't run, when Amber Allen's running in this race. Santry House each way also as another bet for him. Sean Quinlan said that Everett Allen's work rider says he's the best horse he's ever ridden, and it is his nap of the meeting. He says it's a year or two Super Bowl for Sporting John, and he also likes a big getaway, and High in the Hill is very interested in that one, bar its last out performance. And if Amber Allen was not to run, which of course everyone is, he'll look for a big breakaway. Phil Kirby saying Amber Allen is a nap of the meeting, Sporting John nice but inexperienced, and the great getaway is a bit of value. And the little good choice is Sporting John, of what he feels Amber Allen is good, and Ladbroke Sky is looking here for a big breakaway. The RSA, Big Hammond says Champ is his lay of a meeting. He's not taking to fence as much as expected, and he should run in the Stairs Hurdle. And it's a second preview event, I've been to where someone has said that Champ should really stay for the Stairs Hurdle. He says that Barry Geraghty isn't really gelling with the horse, and Champ's capable of one really bad mistake. And Mick Hammond used to be a jockey himself and would not look forward to riding Champ. His selection is Copperhead. But Sean Quinlan would love to ride Champ, but maybe he has never ridden the race. There's a great line from a preview linked to where poor Carby makes a comment, but he loves his horse because he's not riding the race, so he's trying to get a ride. And Sean Quinlan says he's always been a fan of Champ, and he feels the races haven't been run quick enough for him actually, and he's maybe been too brave jumping, and he thinks he's a future Gold Cup horse. But he's also been impressed by Copperhead. Phil Kirby's looking at 4 Heen and sees massively high rate of a Champ over hurdles. Adam Nicol saying Malella Indo, he's happy with that one as Champ has jumping issues. Both Derek Thompson and Adam Nicol love Rachel Blackmore as a jockey. Ladbroke Sky said that Tom Seagal, price-wise of course, had said that his contacts had said Champ's jumping had not improved over schooling, although the Ladbroke Sky actually thinks Champ is his bet for the race. Tomo joked that he had 100% strike weight for Henderson. We asked who has, and someone all just knew it was him. He said he won a classified when he was apparently looked at the internet afterwards. There's a story about this classified who was placed in the Grand National. This is placed in the Grand National classified. It was a later classified who was ran very well in the Ballymore Hurdle. But this is the one, the old stager from the 80s, who came third in 86 in Grand National, and he beat Prince Charles into second place. He told Anthony McCoy the story, but he had 10% record on so wide for Nick Henderson, and Tony McCoy said, well, yeah, he didn't ask you back, did he? The champion chase, Mickey Hammond says Altior pressed him last time out, and that's his selection. Of course, all of this is before Altior's injury scare. And he starts to Geraghty gets somewhere with Duffy Dessau. Sean Quinlan says Altior has been there and done it, so that's his choice. And he says Ruby Walsh feels Duffy Dessau is not a slick 2-mile jumper. And Chacun Passoir beat Duffy Dessau at Punchestown, but he thinks Chacun Passoir needs a flat track. Paul Gibby goes to Altior, although definitely so he says is a great Cheltenham record. Well, Albert's guy goes to Old Shore as he gallops all the way to the line, and Tom is looking for politique each way. The bumper, Tom's nap of the meeting is appreciated, but Mickey Hammond thinks appreciated it's very short and goes to Ocean Wind, Israel Champ, and third time lucky, all as value options against a favourite. Sean Quillen agrees Allen was too short, and he likes the Gordon Elliott mare Queen's Book.